Hey everybody, it's Chris Bunbury here again for JoBlo.com from the Toronto International Film Festival with a review of Alexander Payne's highly anticipated Downsizing, starring Matt Damon as a suburban man who voluntarily undergoes miniaturization in order to join a small person's community where his middle-class savings will make him wealthy. Now, Downsizing is nothing if not ambitious, perhaps too much so. It's as big and broad as Nebraska, Payne's last movie, was modest and niche, with a killer premise that, after the terrific first half, eventually loses steam as the film shifts gears into more sentimental territory. Matt Damon plays our everyman hero who, along with his wife Kristen Wiig, yearns for a better life, although in a sly nod to rampant commercialism, this better life basically means being rich. His answer comes along when an old high school pal, played by Jason Sudeikis, comes to their high school reunion after having been shrunk down to only 6 inches. This is part of a scientific breakthrough where scientists, in a bid to build a more sustainable society, have developed a process where humans can be shrunk to live in small communities that will only consume a fraction of what a regular-sized person does. The big enticement? The equivalent worth of your current income means a regular Joe like Damon here will, in essence, be worth millions. It's this part of the film where Payne adopts a sharp-witted satiric tone that really works. The first half is just terrific, with Damon's gradual integration into the community a sharp dig at commercialism gone mad, with great cameos by Neil Patrick Harris and Laura Dern as fellow downsized neighbors. Damon is perfect as the regular guy lead, with Christoph, Waltz, and Udo Kier hilarious as his randy next-door neighbors, who import contraband, like booze and drugs, and live life as a great big never-ending party. The movie starts to go off the rails a bit when the satire is mostly dropped in favor of a more sentimental side when Damon meets a Vietnamese dissident played by Chau, who was forcibly shrunk down and FedExed to the US, literally, and is now being forced to scrape by doing menial jobs in their community, literally for leftovers. As Damon becomes more attuned to the reality of her situation, the film becomes more sprawling, taking them on an international jaunt to the first small community in Norway, and even dealing with the potential apocalypse, with the movie eventually feeling more like a Wim Wenders road movie like Until the End of the World than an Alexander Payne one. It shows that Payne really does have a bit of a range, and Chau's character never feels authentic in that her dialogue feels stereotypical and goofy, as does the eventual romance between her and Damon, which is too sweet for what, up to this point, had been a pretty cynical movie. Running a lengthy 140 minutes, Downsizing aspires to be an epic, but is really only effective in the first 70 or so minutes when Payne's doing what he does best, sharply satirizing the middle class. Once it tries to go beyond that, the movie falters and doesn't quite come off, but hey, at least it's one half of a great movie. Still, I have to give this one a disappointing 6 on 10. From the Toronto International Film Festival for JoBlo.com, I'm Chris Bunbury.